Hi, thanks for visiting our Amazing Give 2020 page. My name is Dave Morris. I'm a local artist here in Gainesville, but I'm also on the board of directors for Gainesville Fine Arts Association. I'm one of their vice presidents, and I'm also the chairman of the fundraising committee. Quite honestly, I was originally interested in the association only from the standpoint of meeting other artists and marketing my art. However, after spending some time with these folks and seeing how committed they were to fulfilling their mission and visions, I thought it was real important to help out in the best way that I could. They really do have some amazing programs, like their annual artist studio tour. We've had a couple of national call to artists exhibits that were just amazing. Their art walk receptions, open studio program, and some amazing workshops, just to name a few things they've got going on. They also have some wonderful collaborations and partnerships throughout the community with University of Florida, Santa Fe College, as well as with churches, schools, and civic organizations. I'm here to tell you that despite a major health crisis, they remain a vibrant force in fostering the visual arts and culture in the Gainesville community. In these uncertain times, I feel they bring so much to the community through a multitude of virtual exhibits and virtual access to other programs, that there is also a therapeutic side to their mission as well. A few minutes of enjoying some art, regardless of what form it takes, can be calming, peaceful, and at the same time stimulating as well. It's good stuff. At the risk of sounding like a PBS fund drive, I know, won't you please take a couple of minutes to donate to the Gainesville Fine Arts Association, please. Despite the changes we've all had to go through this year, the association still has resource needs and a budget built to get us through the year. That budget largely depends on two things: our actively seeking grant funds and donations from the community. The grant funds are in a shortfall this year. Everybody's cutting back. So anything you can do to help is greatly appreciated. We do understand that donations in these troubling times are not on everybody's radar. We only ask that if you can see your way clear to even give just a little bit, that helps us tremendously. To roughly use some PBS tactics, if you think about a daily or weekly expense you could forego for a short time, and if you have had the fun and pleasure of viewing one of our online exhibits, you may be able to think of a direction in which to channel those funds that you saved or were able to put aside. For any donation made to the Gainesville Fine Arts Association for the 2020 Amazing Give, we are also offering an entry into a drawing of 5 persons to become eligible for a 30% discount on any art purchase from Gainesville Fine Arts Association. Won't you please take some time during the Amazing Give 2020 on August the 19th at 6 p.m. through August the 20th at 6 p.m. to donate to Gainesville Fine Arts Association. Thank you so much for your consideration and your time.
Hi, my name is Michael Mills, and I am an artist based in Wilton Manors, Florida, which is right outside of Fort Lauderdale. Um, I joined the Gainesville Fine Arts Association earlier this year. I don't know exactly when, since we're dealing with pandemic time here instead of real time. But I had participated in 2 or 3 shows already because a friend who lives up there had encouraged me. And I had someone who could transport my art up there and drop it off. So it was just a wonderful experience having my work shown in another venue outside of the local area. I started out as a photographer. Now I've been doing some other kinds of art. I do drawings with ink and gel, and I've done some mixed media works. And it's just been such a great experience for me to be able to show in another venue like this. Earlier in the year, I was really pleasantly surprised to win an award from the Attending to Wonder show, which I really enjoyed being a part of. So I guess at this point, I may have been in maybe half a dozen shows through GFAA, and it's just been a great experience. And I've actually met some people. I bought a piece of art from one of the shows earlier from a photographer up there. And so it's been just wonderful.
Michelle Negri. I'm a photographer and collage artist, and I started photography about 10 years ago and was really getting into it, and always thought about doing the art shows. And in 2014, I came across Gainesville Fine Arts Association kind of randomly. I wanted to visit the Tioga Art Festival just as a spectator and saw that they were still taking applications for the show, and they didn't require a booth shot, which was one of the limits for me to apply to shows. So I thought, okay, I'll just apply and see what happens. And next thing you know, I got in the show, and I ended up being on the board of directors for a period of time. I did some hospitality and then shifted in when the gallery opened up in 2016. I helped, kind of with the managing part of it in the beginning, the early stages, and also did some grant writing for them as well. So GFAA has provided me a lot of professional and artistic opportunities between shows and experience bringing my skills to the table to help the organization. And when GFAA got the gallery in 2016, that really stepped up their game. Having the monthly shows gave me and other artists opportunities to push ourselves, and the different themes, like maybe I can make something for this. And so it was a lot of fun to play and get in the shows and learn and meet other artists. I definitely learned a lot from all the workshops and the members meetings. And with the workshops, I've taken a lot of their collage workshops, which have been financially accessible to me and fun. Also, before we had the gallery, there were a lot of outside exhibit opportunities in and around Gainesville, and that was definitely helpful in me, learning how to exhibit my work and getting set up for those shows and hanging shows. And it really taught me a lot about that I didn't know. And I don't have an art student background. My background's in psychology. So GFAA gave me that kind of community building that I didn't have artistically. So I learned a lot from some of the other artists, made a lot of friends, met a lot of amazing, talented people, and it's been really valuable for me.
Hi, I'm Greg Lindeblom. My husband and I are both artists, and we both are members of the GFAA. We were introduced to the organization by Alfred Phillips, and we have been very, very impressed by the quality of the art and the quality of the artists and the absolutely beautiful gallery you have with the GFAA. We've had the pleasure of showing. We've won prizes. We've sold work. We've bought work. It's been a great arrangement. We've enjoyed our membership enormously, even though we live in the other end of the state. One of the things that's been really neat is the virtual shows. The virtual shows, I realized they were created because of the COVID crisis, but for us, that's fantastic because we can enter all the shows without having to take a 5.5-hour drive. But we have been very happy to do that 5.5-hour drive several times over the past 3 years. It's been, as I say, the quality of the work we see and the quality of the people in the organization is absolutely amazing. We're members of other arts organizations here in South Florida that are also very, very good. But GFAA ranks absolutely at the top of the list of those organizations that we're part of. And we're very proud to be members of the GFAA. I actually was first introduced to the GFAA before you had a gallery. And in fact, I was a former president and treasurer of the Broward Arts Guild here in Florida. And I'm still a very active member of the Broward Arts Guild as well. And when Karen and Alfred were looking for gallery space way back before that existed, we talked quite a bit about what a gallery could do and how important that sort of location is to an organization like the GFAA, because it gives you a home, it gives you a space, and you have an absolutely gorgeous gallery. I mean, it is just one of the most beautiful spaces. And so I congratulate all the people who worked so hard to make that place absolutely a showpiece. And it really has become a place in Gainesville where people can come and see really, really good art that rotates on a regular basis. In addition, I've showed work at Sweetberries a few times. So a few times my work has gone from the gallery to Sweetberries. And that's a lot of fun too, because when we come up, we go have lunch at Sweetberries and we see what's hanging on the walls there, and eating at the tables that were created by the GFAA artists. So that's a lot of fun too, to take a look at the table you're eating at and see who did it and what the theme was at the time. So the organization has benefits that accrue not just in Gainesville, but they accrue to people outside of Gainesville as well. And that's a really wonderful thing to happen. And I think that really started with the two national shows you've had. The Creativity Takes Courage and Tending to Wonder. I may not have got that second name right, but those two national shows were stupendous. I mean, absolutely stupendous shows. And they attracted artists from all over the nation and in Puerto Rico. Another feature about the GFAA that's been very impressive are the judges. Now you have sort of a home field advantage in that Gainesville, of course, is home to the University of Florida and Santa Fe College, and University of Florida, of course, has an absolutely marvelous art department. But you get judges from literally all over the continent. Last national show, you had a judge from the Emily Carr School and University of British Columbia. That's amazing. That was absolutely fantastic. I don't know how many of your members actually know Emily Carr's work, but I'm a Canadian, and she is one of the most famous artists in Canada. She painted in the early 20th century and was a contemporary of Eastern artists called the Group of Seven. And Emily Carr, if you say her name in Canada, everyone has a visual image of what she does. So to get someone from the Emily Carr School at UBC was a real coup.
Gainesville Fine Arts Association is unique in Gainesville because we're the only visual arts organization that's operating in the lane or the space of a completely welcoming, nurturing community for anyone who wants to be inspired by others, who wants to network with other artists, and wants to exhibit their work. It is amazing the number of incredibly talented artists there are in the greater Gainesville area and Alachua County. And we are constantly seeing new talent, new artists joining. We've recently been collaborating with the University of Florida College of Art to bring on more student members, and they're bringing a very new, edgy, provocative vibrancy to the group. And when you come to one of our exhibitions, like at Art Walk, for example, you'll be introduced to many artists that you probably would not have the opportunity to see their work otherwise if it weren't for Gainesville Fine Arts Association. So it plays that very unique role in the community. Of course, now we have pivoted largely to online activities. Our online exhibitions, which run for 2 months, are still judged. We give awards, and there's tremendous talent in these exhibits, as well as online workshops and online weekly open studio. So check out our offerings at GainesvilleFineArts.org. I hope you'll consider a donation to support the Gainesville Fine Arts Association while we get through the pandemic and stay alive and well to see you again when we all open up.